A bit bigger than my last one. This is in the size A5, I believe, and I picked the front of it to be the teal with the vintage motel on the front because my boyfriend actually lives in an apartment building that used to be a motel, and the outside of it is teal. So I thought it was just super cute, and the coincidence, it was just too good not to get it. And I finally decided to get, I suppose you could call it a name brand bullet journal, purely because of the fact that I do use it so much, and I feel like the higher GSM in the pages is just so much better for the setup that I do, because if I looked back in my old bullet journals, you would see that there is some ghosting or bleeding through, which is, not exactly what I'm looking for. But as you can see here, I used I believe it was the soft tip marker to write in September, and now I'm just counting down to see how far to start where to start my calendar. And there's the first mistake. There will be many mistakes in this video, unfortunately, but that is just a part of going straight in with the pen and not using the pencil. I typically like to use pencil to draw out everything that I do before I go over it with pen, but for whatever reason in this journal, I would have to wait quite a long time before I am able to erase my pencil markings. Otherwise, the eraser will smear the pen marks, which is fine. It's not ideal, so not the look I'm going for. But I'm counting out, and I believe September is 30 days, if I remember correctly. And I know that I start my weeks on a Monday, but I like to start my calendars on Sunday, just because that's what I'm used to. But I like the setup of my bullet journal for my weekly spreads to start on, and a smear. To start on Monday, because technically I do think that's when my week begins. When I have class or work or anything else going on, it happens during the week, typically. So, yeah, and just a lot of little mistakes made today. I think that one didn't look too bad, but watch as I go to do my last long line, and we went too far on the bottom 4. They're just one space too long, which is nothing to worry about. I'll show you how I fix it, but it does take me a moment to just breathe my way through it. And for the next minute or so, I'm trying to think of how I can fix this, but it does end up looking just fine, I promise. In my last bullet journal, I did not put calendars in it, just purely because I didn't think I needed it, but it is nice to have to refer back to. I know I put a little one in the upper corners of my weekly spreads, but this way, if I need to write anything in there, I can. I may not be using it as much, but it'll still be there just in case I need it. Yeah, you can definitely see that I went too far over, but that is fine. I decided to make the boxes for each day in my calendar 3x4 spaces. I like having a longer box. I know that a lot of people do squares. Just purely personal preference. However I'm feeling is usually how I decide. It may change month to month, it might not. But I thought calendars were always the fun part of bullet journaling. A lot of lines, precision, some mistakes, but the the pen I'm using is the Sharpie S-Gel pen in the size 0.5. I just like how thin it is, and it's less likely to smear or bleed as I'm writing. And the ruler is a 6-inch clear ruler. I'm assuming I got it from Hobby Lobby. I don't know, I've had it for a long time. I could find a similar one if you'd like, and link it below. And I'm over here, I'm going to start doing my September log. I don't know, I saw it on Instagram and I thought I'd try it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for, but just super simple. Write down the numbers of the month down the left-hand side of the page. And I know I did not number the days in the calendar. Don't worry, I will get to that. But if you have any suggestions on what I should use the September log for, that would be great. I was thinking maybe content or classwork, but I have a lot of stuff that I do for class, and I don't think it would all fit on there. And I also have the plan of doing a content bullet journal purely for Ellen's journals, and just making sure that I can clearly plan out everything that I want to do, and it's not all just mixed in with my personal to-do list or my work to-do list or for school. So that's my plan. I don't know if I'd show it on YouTube or Instagram. Maybe YouTube, just to take a peek at it and show you what the setup's like. But besides that, I don't think I'll focus too much on it. Not like this journal, this new one that I got. I'll probably be primarily doing all my stuff out of that. So if you have any suggestions on what I should do for my September monthly log, on that right page right there, please let me know. I am open to suggestions. You know, whatever you want to see from me. Okay, this is how we're going to fix our problem. I am using whiteout, just a little strip of it to cover each line, and it's not perfect. The white doesn't match exactly to the white of the page, and that's fine because, yep, you can see it, because I'm going to be covering it up again. You see, I thought about covering up that little dot, but like, is it that big of a deal? Does it really matter that much? I do think it's noticeable, but I don't think it's that bad. And I know a lot of people would just cover it up with a doodle of some sort, but I don't think I'm gonna doodle in this journal. I think I'm gonna focus on just strictly the setup, and then, ooh, washi tape. Yep, that was the other part. I'll put washi tape in it, but I don't think I'm going to be doing much drawing. Picked out a nice green for September, because it's the end of summer, but it's not quite fall yet. So I'm going to take the washi tape, which I did get off of Amazon. If you're interested in it, let me know and I'll put the link down below. But we're just going to go down the length of the calendar and cover up the whiteout parts there. Perfect. Yep. And you can't even tell. You don't know why it's there. It just looks like it was part of the design, because there was an extra space on that side of the calendar anyways, and it just looks really good. Here is the first 3 days of September that I did. I got too excited. I had to do something before I recorded anything, and it was super quick, nothing crazy going on. Didn't get it all, I guess. I did add going to Brookings on Saturday because my car is done and I have gone 3 weeks without it. So I'm gonna go pick that up on Saturday, which is today while I'm recording this voiceover. But now I'm gonna show you how I set up my weekly logs. So what you don't see here is that you can see a little mark in the middle of the page. I divide my page in half because, so essentially each page is 2 sections, and then across the 2-page spread there's 4 sections. So then this way, over the course of a page turn, there's 8 sections. 7 will be used for weekdays and 1 will be used for a weekly setup sidebar type thing. And so the first thing that I always do is I write down the month and the year, even though I know what year it is, but whatever. And then I do my calendar, and I do write out the calendar each week, which seems a little tedious and not necessarily a waste of time, but since I have a calendar now in the front that I can refer back to, I don't need to do that much work, I guess. So I write it down on each page so I can refer back to it. Now, after my calendar, I will skip 2 spaces down, and then I will draw out a line that goes from one end of the section to the other. And then this is my little weekly taskbar thing. I don't know what you would call it, but I'm going to draw out 7 lines down with 2 spaces in between. And in this, I usually write down my work schedule in each one, just so I have a clear view of what I'm working this week. You could use it for other things. You could use it for school or events, or I think sometimes I'll put holidays in there. I did that in my last journal. I don't know if I like it. I also went a little over the top in my last journal, and I would write days off when I don't work, which I felt was pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to do that in this one. And now to separate the date from what I'm doing, I'm going in 2 spaces. So that first little bit for each day is a square. It's 2 by 2 spaces. And like I said, I do like to start my weeks on Monday. So, yep, this week. So I will go down Monday through Sunday, and I just do the first letter of each day. And then underneath it, I put the number of the day. And then a little note section below. I would love to know what you use your notes section in your journal is for, because I really only use it when I need to have a packing list for a trip or an overnight stay. I don't really use it for much else. So if you use it for something else, or you have a better idea of what to do with that space, please let me know. And then the next part is just this section where I will write down the day and then the date, skip 3 spaces down for a to-do list, and then I'll do 6 spaces for tasks, skip another space, and then I will write today. And I usually start my day at 8 a.m. and then I skip a line down, so it's like every half hour. I could write something down if I wanted to, and then it goes all the way down to what looks like 7, but it's really 8 o'clock because there's another space below it. And I just continue to do this across the next 3 pages, and yeah. Okay, so now that we have each day written out, I'm going to go back into my weekly log, I guess is what I'm going to call it, and I'm going to write down the days that I work. I did plan on only working about 20 hours a week during the school year, because I am taking 4 classes, 3 online, 1 in person, and I just need time to do homework and fun stuff like that. But they have been giving me more hours than I asked for, which is good because my rent went up, so I need to work more to pay that anyways, but I still need that time for school. But it's a 3-day weekend, so I guess I'll figure it out time-wise, because it's Labor Day on Monday. Yep, no class, no work. This first class is Business Production Ops and Management. It's interesting. It's definitely not something I want to go into. It's a lot of math, but it's a lot of math in, like, the workplace, which I thought, it's interesting for sure. Just not something I would want to do every day. Then on Tuesday, it looks like I work 8.5 hours. Oh, that's great. And this class on Wednesday, it's Health Service Administration, Healthcare Law and Policy, something like that. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. It's fun. I suppose you could say it is. The whole premise of the class is that we'll end the semester with a debate against fellow classmates. Not sure I'm really looking forward to that. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of prep work and argument researching, which I did when I was in high school. I was in debate for a year and a half, but, didn't make it much further than that. Didn't stick with it. Then it looks like I work again that day, and study hall. Chapter meeting. I am in a business fraternity on campus, co-ed. So a lot of my classmates are in this group, and we meet once a week on Wednesday nights at 7, and if you show up an hour early, there's a study hall where you can get stuff done, or you can just hang out and talk to your friends and classmates. It's a lot of fun. Alright, I am just going to let you finish watching the rest of this out and set up my last 4 days of this week. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.